Live from State College, Pennsylvania.
Welcome in to the Landon Tangwall post-game show. We made this a call-in. I figured it was we were due for it after this one. Arbor Wealth Partners, thank you for sponsoring the post-game show. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, Penn State 34, FIU 0. Slightly underwhelming, to say the least, there for Penn State. Now, what I will say, the ending of that game, really the fourth quarter, that's how we should have played the entire game. It should not take you 3 quarters to start to play like that against FIU. Talking about a couple things that happened. Obviously, the 67-yard run for Katron Allen, that was big time. That was his longest run of his career. It was fun to see that pop off. Run game is still not at all where it needs to be. We'll label it a work in progress. I am going to do a film breakdown on Monday on the For the Blog YouTube channel of the run game. So you're going to see where the issues are. And then, we'll showcase a couple of the good things. There were a couple good runs, obviously, there. But for the most part, there was pretty big struggles. Yes, Drew Aller's accuracy for a lot of that game was very hot and cold. That is something that he is going to need to work on. And I don't know. I got to watch it. But from what I saw, it looked like mechanically at times he was just overthinking it. And it feels like sometimes he tries too hard to place the ball exactly where he wants it instead of just letting all the mechanics go and letting all the arm talent that he has and just whipping it in there. I think that's been his biggest problem up to this point, is trying to be perfect with every pass instead of just let it rip. Like he needs to start kind of triggering that in his head, is just let it rip, let it go. Don't try to make everything perfect. And you saw that it was a great pass on the deep ball to Ross for 43 yards. By the way, if you were in here for the pregame show, someone asked if they should bet, I think it was Aller over 40-yard completion. I said yes. Well, we hit one of them, so there you go. Hopefully you bet that. I don't know. I need a little change off that. Hope it was a lot. Jay says, yeah, it's melting because our offense looked pathetic versus FIU. Aller still misses easy throws. Yeah, everybody seems to definitely be upset with Drew Aller. I do not blame you. It's got to improve. To be able to beat the good teams, there's no excuse that you can't have those type of plays, those easy hits. You can't miss those versus those great teams. We're going to be able to get away with it in these early games, but soon enough, that will not be okay. So we will open the phone lines here in a second. Gavin, thank you so much for the donation. He says, I'm no football expert, but Aller is not the guy. Am I panicking? I know we got him for the rest of the year. I mean, look, Drew Aller is going to be the starter for this football team. You're not going to pay someone over $3 million, my man, and not play them. And he's a third-year guy, captain, all that stuff. He's going to play. All right, John, you want to throw up? There you go. Call in now,
814-400-4188. Go ahead and call in now.
Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Yeah,
I suppose I should quickly say, we had talked about this before. Please let your emotions flow free, but if you are inappropriate in a way that we believe all adults are able to accurately judge, we're going to cut you off.
Yes. Let's keep the...
and that's producer John being the bad guy.
That's amazing. That's normally not John. All right.
And we got one already. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
551 area code. You're on the air. Could you please tell us your name and what city you're calling from?
It's John Schwartz from New York City.
What's up, John? What's your question?
What's going on, Landon? So coming into Kotelnicki era, I feel like he was advertised as this genius kind of guy who do a lot of motions, get everyone open, get the playmakers in space. And I just haven't seen that in a season and 2 games into his tenure here. So I just want to know what your opinion is. Is that coming or where are we at with that?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I think that's what Kotelnicki did a lot of at Kansas, because that's what you have to do at a school like Kansas. You have to come up with those trick plays and be creative and move guys around and have all of those motions. But in the Big Ten, that's not generally what you try to do. And I think the biggest problem we are starting to find right now with this offense is some of these just too cute, really. Like, we're doing the motions where Drew Aller shifts to the left and then Katron Allen's taking the snap. And then, we're just doing all these different types of things. And sometimes they work, especially against a team like FIU, where we're doing just all different types of unique, creative things. But sometimes it feels like it's too much, where we should be able to just go down the defense's throat and not have those type of issues. So, yes, I think to an extent, we still are getting too cute with this offense, and that is something that we need to kind of continue to look at, because we can't have those type of miscues against Oregon, against Ohio State, and down the road into the playoffs. Every single play is going to matter tenfold when we get into those bigger games.
570, you are on the air. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, yeah, this is Matt Tabascus calling from Philadelphia.
What's up, Matt? What's your question?
This might sound like kind of a dumb question, but something I in the game today, a little strange. Drew Aller's the only guy on the field with his pregame warm-up and second-half warm-up. You think there's anything to make of that, or anything you see that makes that a little strange? The only player on the field without his helmet on? I mean, visually, it looks like a little something to me.
I can't say I'd put too much credence into that one, brother. I mean, yeah, sometimes if you're the quarterback just trying to be seen, let the guy see you. It is what it is. I didn't notice that. It wasn't something that any of the quarterbacks that he did or Sean did when I was on the team. I wouldn't. I can't say I'd read too much into that one. But appreciate the question, brother.
(214), you are on the air. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Landon, it's Ryan, and I'm calling from the Woodlands, Texas. How's it going today?
What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you calling in, man. What's your question?
Hey, so, being a former player, and especially on the offensive line, just wondering if you can talk a little bit about not just technically what we're seeing from the offensive line, but the mental state and, what do you think's going on? I just feel like they're not a cohesive unit working together. I mean, against FIU, I don't care if they put 7 in the box. We should be able to, average 5, 6, 7 yards a run and pop off a bunch of, long runs one way or the other. So I just wonder if you can comment on that. And just before I jump off here, seeing people in the comments, Bo is not the answer. Stop. Just stop at this point in time. Nice guy, good kid, but not the answer for a title contending team.
I appreciate it, Ryan. Yeah, so you look at the offensive line, and you're right. That we have struggled to hit those big runs. Obviously, that Katron run at the end, I do have to give a ton of credit to Luke Reynolds and Khalil Dinkins. They both buried their guys to the sideline. So I almost, I'm not trying to put down the offensive line at all, but I almost have to give a little bit more pat on the back to the tight ends on that play. It does feel like there's a couple things. There's multiple times where, once again, we are messing up the ID system and our combo blocks. That's when 2 offensive linemen are blocking one defensive lineman, and one of them then has to get off on the linebacker. Multiple times we're messing that up. We got sometimes both guys leave for 2 different linebackers. Sometimes we're going to the wrong linebacker. And then on top of that, it feels like there is a lack of intensity in the run game. As far as the offensive line, like in the playoffs, you saw it. Guys wanted to bury these defensive linemen and linebackers. And I don't know, there's almost some hesitancy there to just be ultra physical. And I think that's what we kind of expected from this offensive line unit to start the year, because that's how we left off. And we returned everybody except Sal Wormley. And it was thought that, hey, that's actually even going to be an upgrade at that position. I do think you look at, and not to say he's played bad, but Anthony Donko not only moving from right tackle down into right guard, so there is now, he's talked about it, I can tell you personally, from moving from tackle to guard, the battle is now. It goes from being, hey, you have 2 to 3 steps every play, and now it is in your face, let's go now, and also coming off an injury. So I think there is a little bit of hesitancy there for Donko. You look at, there were times that the tackles were not sealing these outside runs at all. And so overall, like, it's a compilation of different things. It's not just one thing to point at, but I would agree with you that overall the cohesiveness of the offensive line does not feel like it should be really where we are right now. It feels like it should be at a much higher level than what we are seeing, mainly against an FIU and a Nevada. We should be able to kind of take it to them. I mean, you look at it, and we did go 6.7 yards per carry. I'm going to chart this because I didn't have time, obviously, to do it because the game just ended. But when I do, and I'll put it out, but when I do my film breakdown for the bloggy on the run game and the offensive line, I'm going to chart how many plays that we had that were 3 rushing yards or less. And I think the answer is going to be a good amount. So, I mean, I'm happy with 6.7 yards per carry. That gets really kind of skewed up by the Kaytron Allen run. And, that was a great run. I'm happy about that. But I think there was too many of those minimal gains. And like I said, it was the little things of the double teams, not getting enough push, us going to the wrong people, and just overall just a lack of, like I said, that tenacity to just want to bury dudes. So we will, I'll do a film breakdown tonight probably. Yes, 6-7. I'll do a film breakdown tonight, little mini one. I'll throw out something there. But on Monday on the For the Blog YouTube channel, Monday morning, we will have a film breakdown out for you guys on the offensive line. You'll be able to see kind of everything that has been going on. And like I said, we will call it a work in progress that needs to dominate against Oregon. We went for 300 yards against Oregon in that Big Ten championship game. It has really declined from there. We got to get back going. So I appreciate you calling. Thank you for your question.
814-400-4188. Call.
Pork Roll says, do you think this team is the number 2 team in the country? Honestly, no, not right now. I couldn't say that it is. I don't think that would be fair, honestly, to the other teams that are ranked. Let's see. Who is AP poll top 25? Let me just look at it one more time here. I don't think that'd be fair to the other teams right behind us. I mean, LSU, they play Louisiana Tech tonight. Georgia, Austin Peay, they're about to kick off. Miami plays Bethune-Cookman, who FIU handled last week. I don't know. I don't think that I could definitely see us getting jumped here. Yes, take caller. Shout out Chaz Coleman. Absolutely. We're going to talk about him in a second.
770, you are on the air. Your name and what city you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Jared calling from Atlanta.
What's up, Jared? What's your question?
Hey, I'm pretty frustrated. We are third and medium, and we are constantly running the ball. We're going Wildcat because this is the performance we're getting from a 3-year senior quarterback getting paid $3 million. He's missing throws into the flat. I mean, what is going on? We've seen no improvement from last year. It's the same inconsistencies, inaccuracies, and it's just no improvement that I've seen.
I appreciate your question. Yeah, so look, I mean, Drew Aller knows that he needs to be better. I mean, there's no question about that. These are throws, like you said, we cannot be missing. And it does raise a bit of a question when you say it's 3rd and 6 and we're going to run outside zone or we're going to try to run some type of swing pass and not actually try to throw it down the field, especially against, if you watched my film breakdown, the FIU defensive backs were not good. I mean, even the score didn't reflect it, but Bethune-Cookman was able to throw on them. So that is where I have some issues, like you said, of elite quarterback play not being played elitely on the field. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at right now, and we need that to take a step forward. You see some flashes of it, but as you said, in year 3, it shouldn't be flashes. It should be constant, and we can't have days where you're struggling against an FIU passing secondary that is just really weak, to put it frankly. They had a true freshman starting at free safety. There should have been more of an urgency to stretch the field. Look, we took a lot of those out routes, and at the end of the day, I understand. I'm sure I'm going to look at the film, and they gave us the out routes similar to Nevada, and that is kind of the theme for these lower level teams. Give them the underneath things. But at the same time, like, you got to stretch the field more. I appreciate we took the shot early to Ross, got the defensive pass interference, took the shot later to Ross, got the touchdown. So that's great, but it felt like we should have seen even more from that. So continue to be more accurate for Drew Aller. It's got to work on that, got to continue to work on the mental side of everything and continue to progress, because we need him to be on point for Oregon at Ohio State. He is going to have to ball out, especially if this run game stays not, exactly elite of how we thought it was going to be. But, as the season goes on, hopefully we continue to kind of correct this. Gabe Nwosu, by the way, yes, 2 great punts. 72-yard punt, Pat McAfee. I tweeted out. Pat McAfee actually retweeted, so I got to give myself a little pat on the back there for the brand, baby. And then I will say this: Gabe Nwosu had a great punt there. Had a great punt where we pinned him on the 2-yard line. James Franklin said that this guy is the best thing since Jordan Stout for a reason, and he talked about his A ball, and that means your best ball, and his best ball is the best of them. He is our kickoff guy. 2 kickoffs out of bounds. That's got to be fixed. That cannot happen. Those are little things that in the third quarter against FIU, it's like, yeah, who really cares? That's completely fine. When that happens against Ohio State in the fourth quarter, when it's a tie game, that's a whole different story that needs to be made sure that it is cleaned up. So that's something to keep an eye on there. John, we got any callers, my man?
You had a few, but we missed them. So.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
guys.
you were giving your rambling,
just rambling,
incoherent response. Are you ready?
Someone said, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
814, you are on the air. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Kyle. I'm calling from Denver. What's up, Landon?
What's up, brother? What's your question?
Oh, man, I don't know if I have a question. I just wanted to say the game, it was a really frustrating game, but I think it got better. We had the cute Devontae Ross touchdown. Great play. I was pretty stoked when we, K-Tron Allen had his longest rush of his career for a touchdown. But, man, I don't know if I'm just a Pennsylvania boy or what, but Chaz Coleman with the strip sack just got me hyped. I love that. And just good for him, man. I was so stoked for him. And good end to the game after a really, really frustrating 4 quarters.
Listen, I appreciate you calling him in. I appreciate your enthusiasm. That is you're right. The fourth quarter of what we had is what we should have seen all day. And I think that's why we obviously started to feel better towards the end, because it was like, hey, this is great. This we feel good. Chaz Coleman versus FIU, 4 tackles, a sack, 2 TFLs, 2 QB hits, and a forced fumble. That's a superstar. I'd say in the making, but pretty much already. He is going to be a dude. And I'll tell you what's interesting about Jim Knowles, and this is what we are going to see. Multiple times at the beginning of the game, we saw Zariah Fisher at 5 technique, which means he's right on the tackle. We saw Denai Dennis Sutton then in a wide 9, and then you still have Chaz Coleman on the other side. That is something that we are going to continue to see as we progress here. We got a caller.
717, you are on the air. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yo, this is Gorski. I am calling right now from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Just getting off work here. I'm bringing the positivity, Landon.
I love it.
I'll tell you what. We are, baby. I'm just getting off work. We may have been down a little bit today, but we're still going to push it, baby. Keep the positivity. You got to believe I'm headed home to drink some State Light beer. We are.
Gorski, love you, brother. Appreciate that. We're always bringing the uplifting energy. That is Gorski the Lion, as they know him on Twitter. Always need that positivity. Thank you so much, Gorski. Appreciate you, man. That's what we needed. We got to clip that. That one's definitely going on Twitter, Gorski. I guess we do. Miss Sarah, I think we do have to take a shot here of the JP 409 whiskey in a second here. We did get the win. You want to do it?
Listen, man, you have this producer, this poor soul.
Talk to me, John. Talk to me.
Lonely and alone.
Walk with him.
Do you want a shot?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Oh, John. All right, John, we're going to get you in.
Not
Nicer
blacked
way to
out.
say
I'm
that.
like dark grayed out right now.
Yeah, how many beers, John? Producer John was
40?
No, actually.
No, okay. So
Like, actually.
it was too many.
What's too, like 8 probably I was counting for you, maybe?
That's-
He came back over to the
Don't
anti-fragile kegerator a couple of good.
You can't say 8. That sounds like I'm a crazy person,
No, that's okay. That's completely.
which I am.
That's all right. You are, exactly. Listen, we'll take the shot in a second every single time that we get a victory here. We, on this post-game show, we take ourselves a victory JP 409 shot. But we will, there she is. The shot glasses are ready. John, you're going to have to take my seconds or something because there's only 2 shot glasses. So we'll have to figure that
I'll
one
do
out.
it out of one of those big glass. Just fill
We'll
up that glass.
We'll just give you the JP 409
Well, yeah,
bottle.
it's better. Just hand me the bottle.
Yeah, we got to watch him. Producer Steve's over there as well. Producer Steve, please keep an eye on him before John blacks out on the mic. then we're gonna have an issue. I'll tell you
Short
what.
run for producer John.
Miss Sarah, can you give a comment real quick about me during games and watching games?
You want to hear from me?
What did you see specifically? I'm not even just talking about the game itself, but what's an experience of watching a game with me like?
So that was like watching you watch the Steelers. That like really angry, crybaby, sassy,
I don't think I just realized.
You get really sassy and pressed, and like we're all just like, it is what it is, man. They're out there. Those players and GMs and all that don't give a crap about the fan base. And we're just having a good time, and he's over there just mean mugging. He even put on his All-American football helmet.
I did.
I wish we had the B-roll of it now. I took a photograph.
We'll put it out on Twitter. We got a caller real quick. Sarah, thank you for giving them the update on that.
412, your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm calling from Fort Collins, Colorado. My question is like, just in general, how fair is it to be hard on teams this early in the season when we've seen teams struggle, like good teams struggle early in the season, and like I remember Ohio State back in 2014 struggling fairly early in the season. So and people didn't think that they would win the Natty that year, and they did.
Yeah.
Or 2016.
I appreciate that question.
Remember.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And look, at the end of the day, you cannot say that an early season struggle, even in a 34-0 win, is indicative of how the season is going to go towards the end. I mean, I will say at the end of the day, I think FIU is a lot lesser of an opponent than Bowling Green, but we did just have this in week 2 last year. So, and like I said, that was a game that we were like down in the third quarter, fourth quarter. We won this handily, but I just think part of it is that the expectations coming into this year are so high, so sky high for Penn State. And we talked about it. They knew that. James Franklin, Drew Aller, they all know that. That's not a secret to them, because when you go out and it comes out this is where we're at now, that Drew Aller's making $3 million, that Jim Knowles is also making $3 million, 3.1, and the most expensive defensive coordinator in college football history. And you get Nick and Katron and Denai and Zane to all come back. And it's like, oh my God, we have a Cinderella story running right now, and there's no other juggernaut in college football. And yeah, Ohio State and Texas and Georgia is all good, but we might be the top dogs. And then you come out and you have 2 games back to back where you obviously are going to win them because these teams are just so beneath you, but you're not impressive really in them. And there was impressive moments and players that were impressive. Chaz Coleman, Gabe, obviously Devontae Ross looked quick and had a couple great plays, the touchdown. But as a team, and there's still those all just kind of overruling questions of certain areas of the team, mainly, like I said, the run game. I do want to give a second to give some props to the offensive line. Pass blocking has been phenomenal. That has not been an issue at all. Drew Aller has had a ton of time back there. So as much as, like I said, we're going to they've been ragged on for the run game, and to a degree, deservedly so, I do want to give them their props for how good they have been in pass protection, because that has not really been a problem at all. There was one sack that we surely should have picked up on a stunt, but for the most part, I was pretty pleased with what they did in the pass protection game. So, overall, I'm not all the way negative on this season. Yes, Sarah Jane is raising her hand. Hello.
Hi. Question. Do you think that's because they're doing too much pass protection and offense and not really thinking about run game protection? Do you think there's a little bit of that?
I don't know. I'm not exactly at practice. I know that Philip Troutwine basically splits down the middle. I appreciate that question. He splits down the middle. When you do individual drills, Trout has the same amount of passing drills and the same amount of run drills. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there was multiple times where we are still struggling with different looks up front on the defensive line. Yes, we have a caller.
989, you're on the air. Where are you calling from, and what is your name?
My name is Joe. I'm calling from Pigeon, Michigan. What's up, Landon? How are we doing, buddy?
What's up, Joe? Appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, just wondering, are we just going to use this passing attack against these smaller schools, as they would call them, versus that rushing attack? I mean, I really like seeing Nick and Kate try and tag teaming the crap out of other teams, but this passing thing is just, I don't feel like it's Penn State football to me.
I mean, look, the biggest issue has been, both of them weren't, I would not label either the passing game or the rushing game outside of, like I said, Katron Allen's big run was amazing to see, but both the rushing and passing attack have both been kind of okay, underwhelming in different instances for both, but I would not describe either of them as explosive. And that's kind of been the biggest issue up to this point. And it feels like that's why we're not dominant right now in a lot of people's minds, is because the offense is not explosive. The defense has looked lights out all year. I think we need to give a shout out to Jim Knowles and what he has done. We need this offense. We need more explosive plays.
215, your name and where you're calling from. 215.
Tim from Lancaster.
Tim, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. I got a problem here.
Talk to me.
Not to overreact. This has nothing to do with the opponents, even though the opponents are pretty atrocious. The kickoff. We booted 2 out of bounds today, and he did this like almost every game last year. He was booting 1 out of bounds. You can get away with that against the, sister of the blind schools like we're playing now. But you do that against Oregon, do that against Ohio State, pop the ball at the 35-yard line, that's going to kill you. That's going to lead to a loss.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And I will tell you, look around, I just saw Ohio State scored quick, Oregon scored quick. Those are good teams that we are going to play here in a couple weeks. You are right. And that's the biggest problem. And I'll tell you, that is why Gabe Nwosu didn't start at punter for so long, is he had the biggest leg out of all of them. Even back when Barney Moore was playing, he was here with Jordan Stout in 2021. These past couple years with Riley, all of them, he was better then, but he was way too inconsistent, right? So that's been his problem with the punting. He has now figured that out. He looks like an elite punter, not only booming 72-yarders, but pinning them at the 2. He still has not taken that consistency from the punting and executed it on kickoff. And that's the biggest issue. You're right. It's okay right now, but if we do that against Ohio State in the fourth quarter, it's a kick out of bounds, they get the ball at the 35-yard line, there is a problem. Yes, new caller, John.
570, your name and where you're calling from. 570.
Hello?
Yes, you're on.
My man, what is your question? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on there, Landon? How you doing, bro?
Doing well, thank you.
Casimir from PA, from Poconos. Are you a little concerned that with the slow starts, especially with the I know you're an offensive line guy, and I was watching the offensive line pretty carefully today. It looked like to me that we weren't able to really kind of push them off the ball. We weren't really able to kind of establish ourselves as like the dominant force we should against a team like FIU. And that worries me going forward against teams like Oregon in 3 weeks, against Iowa, against Ohio State. Doesn't that worry you? Because it does worry me.
Yeah, look, there's definitely some concern there. And I don't think we, once again, have shown that we are going to be able to run the ball at will. And that was, once again, I'm talking about the expectation early on was that we were going to come out and dominate these first 3 games. I think people were expecting close to 300 yards per game against Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. And it has not been that really yet. And so that's where we start to have some issues. We got to get it going. We did 300 yards against Oregon last year. Can we repeat that is the question. I mean, over Villanova in the bye week, it feels like I'm just going to keep saying it at this point, but we got to get the run game going. There's no other question about it. I don't think this passing attack will ever be elite. I just don't think that's going to happen. It can be very good. We need the run game to be very good for us here at Penn State. Yes, new caller.
540, your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, it's Cameron from Virginia. I just wanted to ask, what adjustments do you think they'll make for the O-line this week?
Yeah, I appreciate your question. I think the number one thing is that try to make it as simple as possible. And we took some of that off. If you notice and you look, last week we were doing the 7 offensive linemen set. We did it once at the goal line, but a ton of guys at fullback and moving guys at wide receiver. And we kind of cut back on that. It's still, there were still much better holes here. And at the end of the day, like I said, we were talking 6.7 yards per carry. It was not horrendous. It was not nearly as bad as it was against Nevada. But once again, we had some pretty decent runs, some good ones. But the biggest problem was, once again, I'm going to count it up. I'll post it tonight on Twitter when I get some time to sit down, eat some pork chops here from Miss Sarah in a little bit. And I'm sitting there with my dinner plate and all that good stuff. Yes, thank you very much. But I think there was way too many 3 to 4 yard carries. And you cannot have almost, 8 to 10 probably 3 to 4 yard carries. That's an issue that you need to fix. Once again, I think the number one theme here, we're not explosive enough in the passing game or the run game. And that starts to feel like it's not a team that is able to be the best team in the nation when you're not seeing explosiveness out of your offense. Yes, Miss Sarah.
Well, I want to interject. Haley on the chat brought up an interesting point, and she noticed, or he or she noticed that Katron and Nick were hesitating a little bit, probably due to the lack of open lanes, i.e. B-Bell at the Steelers.
Yeah, Lev Bell.
Lev Bell, sorry.
Yes. So look, there was multiple times there where Nick did not cut it up. Katron a little bit less, but they missed some holes. There were holes at times that they missed. Like, look, this run game issue is not just on the offensive line. There was multiple times I felt the running backs need to, like you said, be more decisive. You got to hit it. Let's get north and south. This is not Le'Veon Bell at the Steelers where you can just bounce it around, go east and west. Like, I mean, we need to just get vertical. That is the number one thing I want to see out of this run game against Villanova. Let's get downhill.
That was kind of a problem last year, too.
At times, yeah. Early in the season, look, we've had struggles. Yes, John.
973, your name and where you're calling from.
Trey from State College, PA.
Trey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Repping the hometown.
What's going on? Yes, sir. I just wanted your thoughts and opinions on Singleton being able to get more vertical and upfield. It seemed like he was trying to do a little bit of something outside. I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's honestly, I will say this has been a Nick problem for a little while where he is a very, very good running back, but he has a tendency to want to always bounce it. And you saw that. You guys know exactly which play I'm talking about. It was a third down. He came in the jet motion across from Drew. He handed it off, and there was a huge gaping hole to just cut straight up, and he just pushed it outside and got tackled, and then it was like 4th and 3. Those type of things is where Nick needs to take it to the next level. It's year 4. You got to have better vision, and you got to be decisive. And I did a film breakdown on the For the Blog YouTube channel in the offseason where it was about Nick Singleton's open field running, and really, it's not very good. It hasn't been his whole career, and there's kind of that hope that with Stan Drayton and an elite offensive line, he's going to take that next step into being a great open field runner. But he still hasn't to this point. And that is where we need, like I said, it's hard to have those type of things come to fruition in season because you don't have as much time to work on those things. But he's just got to see it faster. I don't know if it's more film study. I don't know if it's more eye training, eye discipline, understanding schemes of when they are going to open up. But I struggle with where we are at in the run game just because of the expectations. And once again, 6.7 yards per carry, but that's what you're supposed to do against these type of teams. Really, it should be even higher. So it is a work in progress. We need to get that right to be able to go as far as we want to go in this 2025 season. Heverly, thank you so much, my man. Seriously, you are the top donor here at the Landon Tangwall Show. It means a lot how much you are donating here. You guys are the best fans in all the world. And by the way, I will say we're killing it on YouTube and Twitter. We're just going straight up. I think I'm about to hit. Let me check here. Closing in on 8,900 subscribers. So 10K party is coming very soon here. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys. It's going to be a big year, and hopefully it's a big year for Penn State too. How many average yards without Katron's touchdown run? All right, while this guy calls in, I will do the math on that real quick. Yes, John, go for it.
Area code 916, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, what's the plan? It's Charles, Austin, Texas. Curious, like based off last year, at the last 3 games, the O-line was doing really well. Can it change that drastically for the start of the season? Does Sal Wormley make that much of a difference?
Yeah, I think you can change, and it wasn't like it was Sal. This offensive line is just playing differently. Like I said, I think Donko with the injury, and then also having to move inside, not playing as physical as I'd like for him to see, because he was able to take 2 to 3 steps into every run block last year, and he's not necessarily getting that same push. Nolan Rucci's not as decisive, not as physical as we saw him in the run game at times. Overall, the offensive line, it seems like there's just some hesitancy that we didn't see at the end of last year. And I don't know if it's lack of reps. I don't know if it's the fact that we're playing 16-game seasons and we have spring ball. So the coaches in fall camp say, hey, we're going to cut the reps almost in half or maybe by 1/3 for you. And you're losing 1/3 of reps, and I'm all for player safety. But at the same time, it's like, hey, we need a specific amount of reps to be ready for the season. So I don't know what the exact answer is for why it's happening. I can just show you on the film of where it is all going wrong. But like I said, I don't know what the exact answer is. But I'll tell you what, we got to figure it out because Oregon has one damn explosive offense, and they are coming to town. I think our defense and Jim Knowles still hasn't really been tested yet, but they are going to see a test there. We're going to need the offense. I mean, at the end of the day, we were supposed to kind of lean on the offense this year. That was the idea of what we had going on. So the end of the day, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of questions. Once again, I am going to do a film breakdown on Monday on the offensive line / run game because I don't just want to put that on the offensive line. I think the running backs they got some things they need to work on too. I forget who was asked the question. They said, what would be the yards per carry for the running backs if you take away Katron's run? Don't think that's necessarily always fair to say because it happened. But if you do take away Katron's run, we go down from 6.7 yards per carry to 4.7 yards per carry. So two yards less per carry if you take that run away. So still not great. That's something we're gonna have to get right. Because like I said earlier, I don't think we are going to have an elite passing game. It can be a good passing game. I just don't find any aspect of it that's going to end up being elite just because of where we're at. I think the wide receivers can be very good. I don't think we have an elite wide receiver. I think we need to see Drew Aller take that next step to still becoming an elite quarterback. It's year 3. He's got to take that next step and can't miss those easy passes that he missed on today. All right, Landon, can we see you chug a beer? Not today. That is not happening. Oh, maybe one day. If we beat Oregon, I don't even know. Am I allowed to Producer Steve, didn't we look this up? I'm not allowed to shotgun a beer, right, on YouTube? Is that a thing?
How come you're not asking Producer John legal rules?
Because, he asked. Because you do anything over on what you're up to. So I don't know. Yeah, you don't. Especially because you're probably well above the legal limit. I'm going to drop John off at his house, tuck him into bed, and Producer John's going to take a long, long nap. I'll tell you what. Yeah.
I might apply to Florida International University.
Oh, Trey. Holy crap, $100. Thank you so much, Trey Schneider. I really appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. We went 1-0 at the end of the day. Look, that's all that matters, Trey. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best fans in the entire world.
So I'm going to get a little. So I noticed Jay wrote, the wide receivers are good. I think we have a Drew Aller problem. Yeah. And I'd have to say I agree with that a little bit. I'm surprised that somebody in year 3 is playing this nervous against these lower ranked teams. I think he's just being I think he's nervous. And I'm not sure why. He's got a group. He's got an old enough group with him that can give him the confidence. It's not like he transferred in July or something.
Miss Sarah is basically saying, Landon, you're not saying what needs to be said. Is that what happened over there, Miss Sarah?
Maybe a little bit, but when they're getting paid over $1 million and some
3,
they have the right
to
have the criticism match.
You're not wrong. That is, it is no longer, you can't say certain things because they're just student athletes. That is not an excuse when you are taking tons and tons of money. So, yeah, listen, passing game is definitely an issue, and it's not anything that can just be fixed overnight. I do think it is partially mental. We talked about this after Notre Dame. When it's a mechanical issue and it's not that you're under pressure and you're delivering bad passes and you're just delivering bad passes because either bad mechanics or you're trying too hard to place the football, that is in between the ears.
Where did that come from? Was he always like that?
I don't have the answer to that. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he's improved every single year, his completion percentage, all that. It's just where we're at right now. I don't know. I mean, someone said Bo just blew it from Missouri. Season is over. I'm going to have to check out what happened. I saw everybody saying in the comments that glad we don't have Bo. Hold on, let me look this up.
Somebody wrote, listen to the lady. See?
Listen to the lady. I do that very often, guys. So hold on. I need to look up Missouri and what happened here. I'm sorry. I'm in here. Versus Kansas, okay. Oh, wait, it's the first quarter. What are we talking about, man? Y'all had me thinking it was like the end of the game, and he threw it away. He's 3 for 3 right now. All right, you guys need to go to bed. Everybody needs to take a long nap after this game, and also hit that subscribe button. No paywall, just Tangwall. Just let me hear it one time, Sarah.
No paywall, just Tangwall.
Yep, that is. We're talking to Student Bookstore. We are going to get that on a shirt soon. We're also going to do the Landon Tangwell show. We'll have some merch out soon. We'll do sweatshirts. We'll do shirts. If you guys will support the show, we will put it out there. Hinsey, thank you so much for the $5 donation. He says, how much is the vanilla play calling part of our offensive issue? Honestly, Hinsey, I would say it's almost vanilla? I think it's almost the opposite, brother. I think we're getting a little too
Wildcat action.
Yeah, the Wildcat stuff, the running it on 3rd and 6.
Off rip. The Wildcat off
listen,
rip.
We got to figure it out because we are doing where we're Drew Aller's going, clapping his hands and then stepping to the left and the direct snap to Katron Allen. And the problem is with like little cute things like that is that it takes an element out. So let's say Drew Aller doesn't do the handoff and it's a direct snap. Well, there's no read. Like Drew Aller can't pull it and read it and hit an RPO. And when you do certain things like that, you actually end up limiting yourself more on what you're able to do. And I get the premise of it. You're just getting a direct snap to the running back so he can get downhill quicker. But we're not even getting downhill quick. We're still being hesitant and going east and west and not getting north and south. So it's an issue that we got to work on. Like I said, we will follow me at Landon Tangwell on Twitter if you are not. We are going to get a ton of film out for you guys. We will check it out. Penn State Mafia's in the chat yapping about a ton of things. Yes, Julius, no paywall, just Tangwell. You guys know it. Landon, in these early games, how much do coordinators hold back play calling against lower tier opponents? For Andy Kotelnicki,
he doesn't.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's huge. If you think back to West Virginia last year, if you think to Nevada week 1, Kotelnicki's a huge show you everything and make you prepare for everything and then actually start to kind of shrink the playbook down into what he wants it to look like. So we're actually seeing more. And that's why I think it's maybe too much of just there's too many elements at times to what we're doing on offense. So
that's probably part of the reason why they're a little nervous is because we have to show the whole show.
I don't know. We're going to see.
Backwards.
Is it all the is there too many plays in the playbook? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think we need to just calm down a little bit. We need to go out and we need to tell the offensive line it is time to just accelerate in the run game and get downhill. All right. Oh, man, what do we got in the chat? Someone said he's going to, you're going to drink a beer and smoke a cigar? Yeah, I don't blame you, Falcon. Please, thank you for being in the pregame show, postgame show. That has been awesome. You guys have been great on this one. No more, if we don't have any more questions.
There is 0% Aller could teach us how to Dougie.
No, there's, no, Drew Aller's definitely not Dougieing. The 2-point attempt from Drew to Drew, that was sad. I don't really like the holding call on Nick Dawkins there. I feel bad for Drew Shelton. He's going to hold on to that football still. Oh, Gavin called you my wife.
Oh.
I don't know. Not yet?
Still waiting.
Oh, all right. We'll see. We'll see when that's coming. Look, we're ending the show. Gavin, look what you just did, man. Now I got to go home and no.
It's all uncomfortable in here now.
It just got tense.
Just got real
tense. But guess what? I'm going to enjoy. Someone asked about the pork chops, what sides. I will say they're just not normal pork chops. What do you do to them?
I make a balsamic reduction sauce that goes on top of them.
Really good.
That's balsamic honey.
Really good.
Oh, we do have one more call.
All right, one last caller.
Caller.
We'll finish this thing up.
724, your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Sean. We're calling from Newcastle, Pennsylvania today.
Sean, thanks for calling, man. What's your question?
So it seems like every year we have a guy on the defensive side that pops off. Chaz Coleman, obviously, today. But ever since, I don't know, Saquon Barkley, we haven't seen that on the offensive side. So is it recruiting? Is it development? I just want your thoughts on that, Landon.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, you're not always going to have that pop off. And at the same time, we had guys pop off freshman year, Nick and Katron, and, you know, they were here for 4 years, so it's not like we're going to have someone new pop off at running back. We've talked ad nauseum about the wide receiver struggles. And look, at the end of the day, I do think we need to take a step back and realize that, hey, as much as there has been some struggles all around, we have some wide receivers that are good. Trevor Pena can run routes. Kyron Hudson is a big body wide receiver that can catch. Devontae Ross can stretch the field and threaten a defense vertically. So all of those things make me happy. I don't think we're necessarily can just point to, I mean, Drew Aller, once again, quarterback's been here for 3-4 years. So you're not, when you already have a lot of those positions filled and guys returning, you're not going to have as many guys popping off. I think a good place to look is tight end, where we're constantly having new guys. Yeah, Tyler Warren, exactly. So you're having new guys over and over. Luke Reynolds, by the way, I believe 7 receptions today. Let's take a peek. 7 receptions, 9 targets, 58 yards. Luke Reynolds is going to be a star in this offense. And I think we're going to continue to see Khalil Dinkins get those type of easy receptions. And he's a touchdown magnet on that over route in the end zone. Since 2021, 2022, we've been hitting Khalil Dinkins on that over route. And then I think Rapplegate, didn't see a ton of him. He is tight end 3, but going to be a good player for us. So I think Luke Reynolds is the answer for that. He's going to pop off this year. Luke Reynolds was already good last year as a true freshman. He's going to be Drew Aller's safety blanket. So at the end of the day, there's certain things to be happy about. I'll just do one last quick little rundown right here. Like I said, the ending of the game as a whole. Chaz Coleman, amazing. Khalil Dinkins was rolling dudes in the run game. Oh my God, you are going to see a couple clips from me on that tonight as soon as I get this all 22 tape. Taking the shots to Ross, all that stuff. The defense just as a whole looked great. I enjoyed seeing guys fly around. There were some missed tackles, but at the end of the day, defensive tackles played well. Defensive ends, I thought for the most part. Ivan Kemiju, who's going to get overshadowed by Chaz Coleman for probably the rest of his career, unfortunately. They're both true freshmen. He had some great rushes at the end there that almost got home. He is a talented edge rusher. This defensive end group for years to come is going to be in a great, great place. The one thing I'm curious about, Chaz Coleman, I want to know, I don't know if we'll ever find out, how much do you guys think Chaz is going to get when he comes back next year? It all matters kind of the returns that he gets on his games that he puts out. But I'd say Chaz is going to be a millionaire pretty soon here in these next couple months. So pretty happy for him. The odds Tangwall proposing while wearing his reverse Josh Pate fit. Sorry, been a long one. No, I will. Probably. I'd probably be wearing a black shirt. When am I not wearing a black shirt? But I don't know. You guys will obviously, whenever it goes down, Miss Sarah, they'll know, right?
I guess.
Yeah, look at you over there. Love you, sweetheart.
I guess on that note, I guess we should take our shots.
Oh, yeah, we got to take a shot. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hold on. Let's do it.
Look at the giant hands. Peep the tattoos. My goodness, look at them.
Yep. All right, here we go, Miss Sarah. You want to come over here? We will. Here, I'll angle this so we can get both our reactions here. Oh, my hands are a little. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. This one is for going 1-0, and this one's for going 1-0.
I mean, that looks like you just poured 2 shots. I'm just don't ignore me. Don't just pretend like I don't exist. But
producer John, all we got is 2, buddy. We're gonna get you one right at the conclusion
we just
of
have to
this.
make sure that you can operate the cameras and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm nailing it.
All right, this hurt last time.
Don't cry this time.
I need a chaser of water.
Look at me, no chaser.
That's why you get yourself a millennial woman. Here we go. 1-0, and I'll go. Yeah, I'll throw out a cheers to Chaz Coleman as well. Cheers, 1-0, another victory.
You're gonna have to get better at that.
Didn't party
just
a lot.
like they need to get a grip on their nerves. You need to get better at
Didn't party a lot. Someone said John's been itching for that shot for the past.
You should see the facial expression we're getting too.
Oh yeah,
sadness.
I
missed my slider. That I was so sad.
We're gonna get John a shot here in a second, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Landon Tangwall live post-game call-in show. We'll figure it out. Sometimes we'll do this call-in, sometimes we won't. I kind of like doing it call-in. It's a little bit better. Monday night, we will have another call-in show, and we'll have a good time. We'll be able to kind of look at things more. We'll be able to dissect the game. I'll have the all-22 out. We'll get a lot of answers on certain things, and then we'll be able to kind of regroup and get some calls from you guys. So appreciate you tuning in. I will be live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at the Student Bookstore with Keith Goon Conlin. And then at 11, we are moving Nick and Katron up the steps of the Student Bookstore. Penn State rushing glory. I believe Katron is now number 8 on the all-time rushing list. Nick is now number 9 on the all-time Penn State rushing list. Still the chase to number 1 to take over Evan Royster. Appreciate you guys. You can buy JP409. Go check them out at antifragile.com. I said .com. Holy, look what happens when I take the shot. This is how you know it's good. Go down to.
Do you want me to say it?
Go down to Anti-Fragile Brewing Company downtown and get you some JP409 because I'm feeling good now. Miss Sarah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to drive home, but you just took a shot too. Look at this. It's all I've consumed. We're gonna walk home now. Actually, just take a walk home from downtown.
You can take a walk home.
I'm going to take a walk home. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys tuning in until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.